How many of you guys have been playing TF2 since before 2017, which is Jungle Inferno, which was the last real major update? Yeah, I know we just had a big summer update, but I'm talking a real update that gets a real update page that lasts for more than just one blog post. That's what I'm talking about, because for me, personally, I've been playing TF2 since 2013. July of 2013, I believe. I'll put it on screen, my exact hire date, because I still have my mercenary badge. I've watched TF2 evolve, maybe not at the same scale as someone who's been playing since like 2007, 2008, during the beta, stuff like that, but I've definitely noticed something that has changed in TF2. So let's talk about maps in TF2. The good ones, the bad ones, why they suck, what makes them change. Let's talk about that. So, have you guys noticed that if you were to go back and play the original maps, the ones that shipped with the game, they're very small. The early TF2 maps are very small, because I feel like they were designed with the intention that you were going to play every single class. Which is why, if you notice, not a lot of the earlier maps have health scattered around, because you were expected to have a medic. There was no need to scatter ammo all throughout the maps, because you could just have an engineer build a dispenser wherever you want. You were expected to have a medic so you could get healed wherever you want. Nowadays, maps are not made like that. Everyone knows that you're not going to go into casual and you're not guaranteed a medic. You're guaranteed 3 snipers, 2 spies, a pyro, a demo, maybe a heavy if you're lucky. But the point is, maps have changed. And what I've noticed is a lot of new maps are not fun. Let me break that down. A lot of new maps are not fun because they're not designed with all 9 classes in mind. The earlier maps were. They expected you to play at least one of each class. That's why you can pick 12 people, so that you can have one of each class and some overlap. But what I'm trying to say is that, have you noticed it's not fun at all to play slower classes, like, I don't know, heavy on modern maps? Think about how many times you've heard people complain, oh, heavy's not fun, heavy sucks, heavy's too slow. But if you go on an earlier map where there is less terrain to walk, there's shorter distances, so that heavy slower speed doesn't really hinder him all that much, doesn't come into play. That's not really an issue. Versus if you were to join like one of these massive payload maps that are like long and winding, something like Swiftwater or something, you know, that was added in a recent update that is escaping me at the moment, but I'll probably put it on screen. Modern maps are not built for all 9 classes in mind. They're built for classes that can get shit done. Classes that can move. You can rocket jump as soldier. You can sticky jump as demo. You can double jump and run around with the force of nature and the atomizer as scout. The medic, his medigun, it makes him go as fast as whatever class he's healing at the moment. But not poor heavy. Couldn't be our poor heavy. He hasn't gotten a movement speed buff in over 10 years. He's slow as shit, and the game will actively punish you if you try to play him any faster. Which is why a lot of modern maps aren't very fun to play as heavy. And then you get to the issue of, if modern maps are not designed for every class, then who are they getting designed for? I firmly believe that modern maps are made with the intention, ooh, I hope this gets played on stream during competitive or something like that. I hope my map gets attention because it's so well designed because I designed for competitive. So yeah, maps aren't really designed with all 9 classes in mind, because think about it, man. How many times have you booted up into a map and thought to yourself, be honest, I'm not going to get as much done if I were to play Spy or Pyro, but I will get more done if I'm playing, I don't know, Medic or Soldier or Scout. No one makes a map and thinks to themselves, how would it feel to play Heavy on this map? Or, how would it feel to play as a class that can't do crazy jumps and get around really quickly like Spy or Sniper? Pyro, sure, you got the lame-ass jetpack that has never been fun, but you also got detonator jumps, which, you know, you can get around a little faster with that. The other classes I already mentioned, they have some trick
This is not no clue.
or cheat to get around the map faster. Not Heavy, not Sniper, not Spy. Maps are not getting designed with their slower speed or inability to take shortcuts through the map in mind. People want big, grandiose maps. Look at the size of my map. Look at the scale. Look at all the things that you can run around and do. Not taking into account that it takes 5 years to walk to the control point or the payload cart if I am playing a slower class. This video is very jumbled because I don't have a script. I'm just kind of rambling off the top of my heart here. When people make a map nowadays, you know what it's like? It's like that scene in The Simpsons where the guy is like, hey kids, what do you want? What kind of adventures do you want Itchy and Scratchy to get into today? It's like that, but instead it's like, Hey TF2 community, what kind of maps do you want to play on? Oh, you want maps with lots to do? Lots of flank routes, lots of interactivity, all kinds of things for every class to do? Sure, okay. Or do you want the complete opposite, where it's completely sterile and it has the same aesthetic and it's just gameplay focused and you go from point to point to point and it's a little stretched out? And then they say, sure. And then the guy making the map is like, so you want a map that is completely sterile with no gimmicks, that is focused on objective to objective, while also having a ton of interactivity and trying to give every class something to do. And then the kids at the table go, yeah! That's what I feel like making a map is like today. You know what it's like? It's like when you make a war paint and you see it advertised on one specific weapon and you're like, fuck yeah, that looks awesome! And then you go and you realize, oh fuck, you gotta make that one war paint that looks good for one specific weapon look good for every weapon! You can't make a map and think to yourself, I'm gonna make this so specifically people who play Scout are gonna have a good time. You gotta make a map designed for Heavy first. You gotta make a map designed for Spy first. Maybe not for Sniper first, because then you're gonna get maps that aren't fun because it's just a long sight line, but you already know all about that. You gotta make... You gotta start at the bottom, man. You gotta make a foundation. You gotta accommodate the turtle just as fast as you accommodate the hare. You know what I mean? You can really see this in Valve's development philosophy. Like, as they developed the game and as they made more maps for it, you can tell the maps got longer, the maps got taller. But you know what? They designed it for, this map is big and open, scouts can take advantage of the flank, soldiers can rocket jump in on the point and save the day. But they didn't design it for the guy who takes forever to get there, takes forever to wind up his gun, takes forever to shoot someone if he's not already on top of him. Yeah, I'm still talking about Heavy. And instead of just addressing Heavy and changing him as the gameplay evolved, they just kept Heavy the same and kept evolving the maps around them. And I know that you can't change the characters to accommodate the maps, but you have to make the maps accommodate the characters. You have to go with all of their different strengths and weaknesses. Modern maps just don't do it. They don't know what makes each class special. And you know what? I don't know anyone that makes maps. I could be talking completely out of my ass. If you make maps and you're hearing me talk about this and you're getting offended, well then I'm sorry. I don't mean to piss anyone off. But if you are hearing me and you do make maps, drop whatever it is you're doing, drop whatever gimmick you want to do, drop everything, start from the ground up, and think to yourself, am I gonna play this map as Heavy and have fun? Am I gonna play this map as Spy and have enough areas to get away? Am I gonna have enough areas to sneak around in? Am I gonna have fun? Am I gonna play this map as Engineer and think to myself, this is an obvious sentry spot. This would be a good place to set up a teleporter. This dispenser right here in this corner will really help my team. Are you making maps thinking about each character's strengths and weaknesses in mind? Or are you making a big arena for everyone to fight in and then there's just like a tunnel that one of the teams can go in and it goes up and then you drop down through a gate, a one-way gate, and then you can just fucking kill everybody and it's not fun? Is that what you're doing? I do not know shit about making maps. I really don't. I'm a dumbass. I'm very ignorant. I've never touched Hammer Editor. I really don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to making maps. But I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to playing maps. And you know what? I'm sure everyone says that, oh, I play the game so I know what would be good for it. I don't know what would be good for it, but I do know what would, like, it's just kind of like a common sense guttural thing. Like, you can play a map and just think to yourself, this isn't fun. This isn't well designed. Like, what were they thinking? Who made this? It's just a feeling of knowing the difference between fucking Turbine or Pelican Peak, CP Steel or CP Junction. Like, there's just a big difference. One is fun, one isn't. One gives every class something to do, one doesn't. It's just a feeling. If you've played TF2 long enough, you will naturally gravitate towards maps that you like and maps that you don't like. And you, depending on what class you like to play and how you have fun, you will know which map is good for this class and which map is good for that class. And I'm gonna just boldly say it here, 9 out of 10 maps made in the last 5-6 years aren't fun. Because they're not made with every class in mind. If I can't have fun on this class, I'm just not gonna play. That's what a new player will think. If you join a map and if you're Joe Normie and you join a new game and you get into a map that you've never played before and you pick a guy that, if you pick Heavy and he has like a big gun, and you think to yourself, oh fuck yeah, Fortnite, you get a minigun, it's just like that game. And you go, and you're slow as shit. And then you're gonna look up in the sky, you're gonna see some guy rocket jumping, or you're gonna see someone sticky jumping, or you're gonna see a medic with the quick fix, and he's bouncing in the air, or a scout, he's double jumping. Everyone is gonna have some kind of cool movement ability, and you're not. You're not gonna have fun, and then you're just gonna think to yourself, oh, this character isn't fun to play. I'm just not going to play them anymore and hope I have a better time. And 9 out of 10 times, they're going to have a better time because maps aren't designed for that character. And I think that it can come down to the community's personal bias, because the people who grew up playing TF2 are now the people who are making maps for it. And the people that are making maps for it grew up thinking, this character isn't fun, so I'm gonna make a map so that no one plays him on my map. I'm annoyed by pyros, I'm annoyed by spies, I'm annoyed by sniper, so I'm gonna make a map that doesn't encourage you to play those classes because I don't want new players to go through what I went through, rather than thinking to yourself, maybe the maps I played when I was younger just didn't encourage me to play those classes and I should have tried other maps. But nothing of what I'm saying even matters because the TF2 community, they've already decided. They know what they want, they know what they like 24/7 Dust Bowl. They like 24/7 Hightower. They like the maps that they like, and every other map that they aren't going to play is like a breeding ground for bots, or the map is just dead and you get there and they're voting for something else. So I think if you're going to make a TF2 map and you're really hoping to get it into an update, or you're just making it for your friends to play on your own community server, please make it with every class in mind. And I'm not saying, you know, it has to be so small that you can't play as soldier or you can't play as pyro. Just make it so that you can think to yourself while playtesting, if I'm good at this class here, let me try it again as another class and see how that goes. That's all I'm asking for. And if you watch this video and you are making that map, and if you watch my video and you're gonna take anything I said to heart and you happen to make maps, think of someone like Heavy. This video might as well be called In Defense of Heavy and Why Map Makers Are Bad, because I feel like I've brought up Heavy a million times. But if you're gonna make a map, please, start tall, start strong, start with Heavy. So if you made it this far in the video, thanks for sticking around, thanks for listening. My name is Waylon PK. Direct your hate mail to this email address. Here's some fan art that I really like and really appreciate as always. And I guess I'll see you guys later. My name's Waylon, but you knew that already, so hey, stick around for more.